Hello and welcome to FitPros Live. You are in store for an educational and engaging session. Your instructor is live and able to answer questions that you drop in the chat. And we encourage you to respectfully interact with one another. Check your company's wellbeing portal for more live sessions this week. We are a community of wellness warriors. Now let's slay the day.
This will be a 30-minute yoga session, and my name is Wei-Ming, and so I take a multidisciplinary approach to wellness, from blending some yoga instruction, personal development, and leadership coaching, as well as Reiki energy healing. So we'll need a mat today, which I have behind me. I'm going to switch cameras so you can see the full setup, and we'll just go ahead and get started on our backs. Okay, so you can go ahead and find your way there. I'm going to change the music to get us to the right playlist for this class. And while you find your way onto your backs, you could perhaps place a hand over the belly and a hand over the heart. That could be a way for you to add a layer of perception to the quality of the breath. Or maybe you just want to be splayed out in a Shavasana, arms by your side, palms facing towards the sky. Either one, yogi's choice, all good. Just encourage everyone to have the palms up. That'll just allow the shoulders just to be more in neutral. And the knees could be bent here. You could bend the knees and gently let the knees fall towards each other for a supportive rest. Final option I'll give you for this first shape that we'll take today is going to be soles of the feet together, knees falling down towards either side. Our reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. And if you haven't already, gently let the eyes float shut if it feels accessible and safe for you to do so. And encourage it just so you can also create an internal gaze, creating the opportunity for this practice to be both a workout as well as a work in. If setting an intention or dedicating your practice is to something or someone is something that you like to do, this could be a time for you to do that. We'll begin to link our breath with our movement here. Is everybody drawing the knees, bending into the knees. We'll place the soles of the feet on the floor. Starting to get right away into some shoulder movement as well as awakening the spine. We'll press up into a bridge pose on the inhale. So on the inhale, once the inhale begins, you'll peel the sacrum off the ground, starting to curl the spine up, and the arms can reach up towards the sky. The arms will go in a semicircle over you, and the arms might fall down to frame the head. Exhaling, curling down. So reversing this movement, really simple, just uncurling the spine. See if you can get the hips to land on the ground last. Then a few more times, creating this fine-tuned awareness of your spine and how it's moving through space. Feeling the lungs inflate and press out to the sides of the space, filling with air on the inhales. And maybe feeling the navel drawing towards the spine on the exhales. We'll bring the knees in towards the chest here. Hands will come just underneath the kneecaps. And you'll rock forward and back. Thanks for that note, Lindsay. I'm going to turn down the music. Let me know if that's better. So with the hands right underneath the kneecaps, you'll go ahead and let yourself rock forward and back, kind of kicking forward with the feet, so that you create kind of a rocking sensation. And then finding yourself in this floating position, it's a Navasana, so you could have your knees bent, you could move the legs towards straight. But we'll create a twist with this, so a little bit of a variation here. We'll take the left hand and go thumbs down on the right side knee. We can send the left leg long in opposition, and then reach through the right knee into the left hand, and we'll spread the right hand towards the back of the space. The left foot could be floating here for a little bit more effort, or the left heel could be on the ground. So you can make a choice there. Just noticing what is going to feel most supportive and useful for you in your practice today. On an inhale, we'll draw the arms up overhead as if you were holding onto a beach ball in the hands. And exhale, sweeping into the other side. So the right hand thumbs down, outside edge of the left knee, and the left hand reaches back, and the right foot reaches forward. So I'll kind of swivel so you can see that. So the right foot could either be floating, like I have, or you could place it on the ground for a little bit more stability, a little bit more ease. Great. Next, inhale, both arms rise and reach. Feel as if the knees are lifting and the sternum is lifting up as well. And exhale, crossing the ankles, letting yourself come into just a comfortable seat, Sukhasana, easy seat. Great. This we'll get a little bit more into the neck here, kind of graduating this movement up into the up in here. So on our next inhale, reaching, lifting through the hands. Exhale, as if you were pushing your hands through water, you can press the hands down next to you. Got it. Thanks for those chats. I appreciate the feedback. A few more times. Inhale, lifting. And then exhale, press. Let's take that one more time, this shape. Inhale, reach and rise out of the sacrum and out of the sits bones, up through the fingertips. Your exhale, left hand is going to come down. We're going to reach the right hand over top. Make sure you're letting the left shoulder drop down. So there could be a tendency to kind of crunch it into the ear, kind of collapse into this shape. If we press it down and press into the floor actively with the hand, you'll notice you can create some more space in the ribs on the right side. Great. Gaze could be straightforward. That's working for you. Or you could gaze towards the eye of the elbow. Kind of yogi's choice here. Inhaling, lifting up through both hands, and then exhaling, finding this on the other side. So right hand grounds down, left hand is reaching and rising. And you can press into the floor with that right hand. That'll help the left sits bone get grounded. And then we're specifically breathing into these ribs, so as if they could separate and articulate with the breath. Then both arms will reach up, and exhale, we'll just hinge forward, coming into a bit of a forward fold seated. And in the seated forward fold, I'll rotate around just in case you want to check. Seated forward fold, we'll walk the hands forward, forward, forward on the mat, while we simultaneously let the hips reach down away from the hands. So this might help us get a little bit more space in the low back area, specifically by reaching forward with the hands and reaching back with the hips. Could even get into the shoulders as well. From here, let the hands come slightly in. We'll rock the weight and the pelvis forward so that we can come into a tabletop position. Great. Reaching the right heel towards the back of the space. See if we can lift that leg as an action by engaging the glute to extend the leg. Then we'll let that right foot come down onto the earth. From here, we'll take a bit of a twisting dynamic movement here. So the left hand is going to stay down. Our inhale will sweep the right hand up towards the sky, almost coming into a gate pose. Exhale, the right hand is going to come down onto the floor. Inhale, the left hand comes up, so we come into a bit of a twist. Exhaling, the left hand finds itself part of the foundation on the floor. Inhale, reaching the right hand up. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left hand high. It's going to change here. Next exhale is left hand falls down toward the front of the space. The right leg floats. So we come into this bird dog shape. Imagine here that we're trying to create maximal distance between the left fingertips and the right heel. So really spread and reach. And press down into the right hand so that our right shoulder is engaged. And then letting the left hand come down, right knee comes down. We'll extend the left leg out, maybe pressing into that heel just for a moment here, finding and appreciating the hamstring and the calf on that side, or maybe maybe it's not appreciating is exactly the right word, but some sort of sensation. And on your next inhale, we'll sweep the right hand up towards the sky, coming into that twist. Exhale the right hand to the earth. Inhale, the left hand twists up. Exhaling, left hand down. Inhale, right arm rises. One more time each side. Exhale, right hand. Inhale, left arm. Exhale the left. Inhale the right. And tilting the right arm down as the right hand comes down, the left leg floats. And we're just creating some awakening in the core here, drawing in at the navel. And again, creating space and length through the linearly from the fingertips to the heel. Nice work, everyone. Both hands will find their way to the earth. We'll come into a tabletop position. Just lift the knees here. Just give ourselves a little shake, a little wag from side to side. So we were just working really like the central core. This is going to just kind of wake up our side body here. And then releasing that shake from side to side, we'll curl the toes so that so we have access to the balls of our feet, and we'll press back into the floor with the heels and lift through the hips, finding our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you find your downward facing dog, maybe taking a moment to pedal it out. And if you do so, maybe slowing it down. I know oftentimes we can kind of get into the pedal shape and we can boom, boom, boom without kind of some intention. So just maybe slowing it down and really exploring the necks of the toes. You can fan the foot from side to side, just kind of really opening up the fascia along the bottom of the feet. It's kind of a direction that the toes don't typically get to go in, so it could feel really nice to do so. Then letting both heels settle down towards the back of the space. On our next inhale, just drawing the crown of the head forward, coming into a plank pose. And exhaling, finding a bear shape. So bent knees, downward facing dog. Inhale, let the knees find the earth, lower the hips, coming into a high cobra. And exhale, curling the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Creating this little four pose miniature flow here. So inhale, we draw forward, we lift through the back body here, plank pose. Exhaling, bending the knees, reaching the hands forward. Inhale, knees down, lift through the crown, hips fall down. And exhale, curl the toes, hips lift, heels down. One more time, or take child's pose if you want to take a break. Inhaling, we're finding Palakasana plank. Exhaling, shifting the weight, knees bent, chest towards the thighs, bear pose. Knees kiss the earth, and we slide the chest forward, high cobra. And exhale, curling the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. We'll walk the step, hop, otherwise find your way to the front of the space. And just create a forward fold, Uttanasana here. And to kind of get into the shoulders while we're in this shape, we'll clasp opposite elbows and imagine that your elbows could reach down towards the earth, like as if they were hands, they were trying to pick something up. You might find that the elbows kind of reach down and slightly forward. And then bending into the knees on an inhale, we'll sweep, lift, rise, all the way up. So you'll be at the front of your space here. I'm just going to face you for this instructional piece. So from here, we'll inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. And then exhale, right hand is going to come down. So right hand is going to sweep. We're going to create this twist, standing T-spine twist. And then both hands will reach up. And exhale, surrender the left hand down and rotate it back, reaching the right hand forward. Awesome. Inhale, both arms high. And from here, exhaling, bending at the torso, bending at the hips and forward fold. Inhale for a reach, forward with the crown of the head. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into the earth actively as you rise towards the sky. And exhale, Tadasana, hands down by the side. Great work. So we'll take that little miniature sequence one more time, creating this twist. One little note kind of a nuance to keep in mind is while you're at the front of the space, when you come into the twist, we want to keep the hips square, so we isolate the twist in the torso and in the spine. We could just rotate the hips all the way open, but notice how I'm not twisting in my spine at all. It might seem like I'm twisting, but I'm really just turning at the hips and there's no twist happening up here. So see if we can keep the hips pointed forward as we create the rotation. You won't maybe go as deep when you do so, but the twist will stay in the spine, okay? So on our next inhale, we're pressing down through the feet. Our arms are rising with the breath. Exhaling, right hand swims down, left hand falls forward. Inhale to lift and rise. And exhale, left hand sweeps down, right hand sweeps forward. Parallel to the earth. We'll inhale to reach the arms up, and exhale, hinging, leading with the sternum all the way down, Uttanasana, forward fold. From here, we'll bend into the knees here. We're going to start charging up the legs, bending into the knees. Our seat will sink, our arms will rotate up, and we're coming into our fierce pose or Utkatasana. You could bring the hands down to the heart center here. You could keep them lifted, yogi's choice. This is a strong pose, so stick with it for one more breath cycle. And exhale, press into the earth, release the hands down by the side, grow up through the crown of the head, coming up into our Tadasana. Awesome, we're gonna take that one more time. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Here we go, fierce pose, knees bend, the seat sinks. We're really awakening the power in our quads, shifting the weight slightly back so that it's more on our heels as opposed to in the toes and in the ball of the foot. Just doing whatever you need to do that. And keeping the knees behind the toes. I know I'm talking a lot to distract you from the burn. And exhale, press down, lift up to the crown. Awesome work, everyone. Great. From here, we're gonna let ourselves shift the weight into the right foot, okay? So from here, weight shifts to the right. We'll inhale, grow the arms, bring the left knee up towards the sky. From here, we're spiraling, keeping with the twist theme. Right hand is gonna reach down. The left foot might touch down here, or you could step it long towards the back of the space. This is a place where a block could come in handy, so I'll demo that. If you have a block, you could place it here for this low runner's lunge twist. Just taking a few breath cycles here, inhaling, feeling yourself reaching towards the sky, wringing out the torso, really opening up towards the right side. And exhale, we'll let the gaze come to the floor, untuck or bend the left knee. All right. Inhaling, we're going to find our Anjaneyasana. So lifting up through the fingertips, hips are sinking down towards the floor. Humerus, the upper arm bone is plugged into the shoulders. Great. And on an exhale here, we'll sweep the right hand down, coming into that twisted position again. So arms are open, shoulders are down, opening. And inhale here, right hand is going to come down to exalt this Anjaneyasana. So left arm reaches high. We can kind of press the hips a little bit forward here and really allow this left side of the body, the left outer line, really open up. Exhaling here, arms are going to spiral towards the front of the space. We'll come onto the ball of the left foot, okay? Weight can sink back for a moment, and then getting kind of like a spring in the left foot, we're going to step forward off that left foot and either fall down with the torso into our standing splits, or if you're feeling a little bit more energized and you want to visit Warrior 3, you'll press up, reach back with the left heel, finding Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. As you find your Warrior 3, the spine is long, it's nice and active. The left heel is reaching back as if it were pressing into the wall behind you. And everybody will release the left foot down. We'll inhale, reach the right arms up, and exhale, release the hands down to the side of the space. Taking a bit of a break here in mountain pose, in between sequences, just to allow ourselves to reset, allowing ourselves to reconnect with this idea of steadiness and ease that we want to have in our yoga practice always, this idea of a relaxed effort. So maybe taking that as a theme into this next series on the other side, and then maybe something that I hope I'm doing always is bringing that steadiness and ease into my day-to-day life as well. So letting the weight sink into the left foot, almost as if we were pouring sand, transferring it into the left foot from being distributed throughout the body. And next inhale, we'll let the arms lift up, rise up. Holding this position just for a beat. And then exhaling, hinging at the hips, reaching the right foot towards the back of the space, letting the right hand find a block or the floor. And if you're on the block, you could be on the lowest setting, medium setting, or high setting. It's all up to you. No matter what setting you're on, even if you're on the floor, see if we can press down into the right hand and open the left hand up towards the sky. If it's okay on the neck, the gaze goes skyward towards that palm. Breathing here. And gazing towards the floor, letting the right knee kiss the ground. We'll inhale, finding our Anjaneyasana. This Anjaneyasana, we're pulling the right knee forward, even though it's not going to move. That's the action, drawing it forward, pressing down into the top of the right foot. As we exhale, our arms can sweep open. Creating this twist, holding it for a moment or two. Your next inhale cues you to tilt the torso, reaching up through the right hand with the left hand becoming part of the base on the right thigh. Awesome work, everyone. Reaching down, reaching forward with both hands. The ball of the right foot gets activated here. We bend into the right knee and we go flying, either standing splits or warrior three. Just choosing a version that works for you. Again, steadiness and ease. Seeing if we can be with ourselves, but not necessarily have to create a shape that's not available. Letting both feet find the floor. We'll inhale to lift and reach through the arms. Exhale right away. We're making our way toward the ground to turn down the intensity on this practice and find our way into the floor part. Once the hands find their way onto the ground, your choice is either to step back for a downward facing dog or move through some version of a low plank or low push-up. So you could do like a Hindu push-up. I'll demo that. Feet are wide, arms are wide. You could really dip down, pull forward, and then press up, downward facing dog, or maybe move through a classical vinyasa flow there. Once you find yourself in down dog, we're letting the knees come down to the ground. We're crossing the ankles, walking the hands towards the back of the space. We'll set up, got one little movement here. It will be moving with the breath before we fully fold forward into a forward fold. So creating the legs for our Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Or we'll inhale to sweep the arms up, interlacing the fingers here. We'll exhale, reach the hands forward. There's going to be a little bit of energy here. Inhale, shift up. Exhale, this time shift back. So hands come forward, torso goes back. Inhale is a lift, and exhale is reaching the hands forward. Let's do that one more time, each direction. Inhale is lift, exhale is back. So kind of keeping a long spine. Last inhale here, and exhale, release, forward fold. Few breath cycles. Seeing if you can breathe into the low back area. Your inhale walks the arms up the thighs. We'll take one little hip opener here, taking bound angle. So we can bring the soles of the feet together. We'll take the hands onto the arches. Inhale here for a nice long spine, shoulders down, and exhale, hinge, and then press in the inner thighs with a nudge. So it's not a demand, but it is some gentle pressure on the inner thighs just to encourage them to open. And you could imagine reaching forward with the very top of the head here. Pressing into the feet to lift the torso up. Will let yourself roll onto the back and plant the arms out to the side. Feet are going to be wide on the mat. From here, just really letting the knees luxuriate from side to side, creating a nice wave-like sensation through the body. Next time the knees are over towards the right, we'll let them fall down and gaze towards the left. If you're wanting a little bit more rotation, you can place the right foot on top of the left knee for a little bit of gravity-assisted rotation. You might feel it more in the hip as well, the left hip specifically. Changing sides, let the right foot find the earth. We'll swivel from side to side a few times, just moving the energy. When you feel ready for the other side, knees drift down towards the left foot on top of right knee, and surrender the head, the gaze over towards the right knee. Awesome work, yogis. Extending the legs out, letting the eyes float shut. We're going to take a really brief, we kind of another minute actually. Let's do one more minute of movement here. So taking our last pose I'll cue us into is going to be happy baby. So hands onto the feet, or thumb or forearms can hook the thighs behind the knees. You can just rock from side to side. Super nice, really easy, maybe not easy, but kind of a relaxing shape to take. Rocking from side to side, maybe hands on the feet. You could press up into the hands with the feet if you've got that position. And maybe let the eyes close. Really letting this slow down. And from here, this is your opportunity to customize your practice. So if there's anything that you'd really like to take, maybe some version of an inversion, if you'd like to do some more bridge work, you can. And I'll cue us up here for about a minute or so of Shavasana. Just taking any last movements that might feel good. One way to think about it, I like to ask, what might my body want versus what do I think my body wants? Oftentimes we move through life with a lot of attitude of mind over matter. And this is an opportunity to flip that inquiry around. That's our time together, everyone. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana beyond the container of this 30 minutes, I encourage you to do so if you've got the time to do so. Thank you so much for being with me on the mat today. It was my pleasure to guide you through this Power Flow yoga class.